Welcome back, Storm fans. Bryant Cook, and today we're playing Glittering Neoform. I actually uploaded this deck about a month ago for the first time, and you can find that in the card above. I couldn't believe that I had waited so long to play Glittering Wish in this deck. It was everything I was looking for. I never liked Serum Visions, and Glittering Wish was just chef's kiss. So good. And I loved that it was a green card to pitch to Allosaurus Rider, which is pretty good, right? Like, having more green cards is always a good thing. Who doesn't love that? So Glittering Wish gives you access to more copies of Neoform because you get to play a version in your sideboard. And overall, I felt like the deck was more consistent because you also get Eladamri's Call to get the Allosaurus Rider out of the main deck. So you just have access to more stuff. But in the comment section, people said that they preferred the Throsta win condition over Gut Shot. They felt like the Gut Shot win condition with the Endurance Loop is a little bit repetitive and not so fun to watch, but also right now Graveyard Hate is at a high due to some of these Archon of Creativity decks. So, you know what? I thought, let's give the fans what they want. I'll record Throsta. I tried to record that deck list 3 times over the last 24 hours, 3 different leagues, 0 wins. 0 wins. And I felt like a lot of it was due to the package I was playing. There was a lot of wins where I would draw, you know, a Heritage Druid that I needed to pitch that I couldn't, for example. Or I would draw both Fortifying Drafts, and that was awkward. So there's a number of things that went wrong. But the big thing is that Gut Shot provides a little bit of added utility at chopping down Ragavans and turn one, you know, creatures, hits Hammer Time creatures. There was a number of things that really bothered me that I think that the Gut Shot list is just the correct one to be playing. It might not be as fun to watch, and I completely get that, but it is the correct build in my opinion. So I'm going to play it. Nothing against people that like the Throsta, but I'm pretty over it at this point. I'm just going to continue to play the list that I think is correct. So this is the list that I'm going to be playing today. I learned some things playing over the last 3 leagues that, you know, are really, really good to know. So let's cover the first thing. Blood Moon is a main deck card right now in a lot of decks due to Leyline Binding. And that has made Abundant Harvest less desirable than a card like Manamorphose. We need to be able to beat Blood Moon. That's a actual concern of mine. So we have 4 main deck Morphos, but we also have some sideboard copies of Force of Vigor. The Manamorphose allows you to just not care, but it also provides some added utility with Chancellor of the Tangle. If you open up multiple Chancellor of the Tangles, you can Manamorphose into Neoform or even Glittering Wish, and that's something I'm really interested in. I've had that come up in the past, and well, I think now's the time to be playing the Manamorphose in the main deck. On top of that, we've switched City of Brass to Forbidden Orchard. Why is that? Well, I noticed that there were some games where I needed to tap my City of Brass, but it would knock me down to 14 life, and then I would get 1 less draw of Griselbrand, where if you gave your opponent a 1/1 spirit creature, that's not an issue. So I want to try out Forbidden Orchard today, and if it's worse than City of Brass, we can switch back. But I think that this is a change worth. What else? The rest of the main deck looks the same. Force of Vigor in the sideboard. In the previous video, this was Endurance, but Living End has sort of fallen off a little bit. And, well, I think we want the Force of Vigors. So there's multiple reasons. One, Graveyard Hate is at an all-time high. Force of Vigor helps you beat that. It also beats things like Needle or Grafdigger's Cage at a pretty low cost. Like, you're not losing any tempo by doing it. I think that's pretty huge. But on top of that, our deck can win at instant speed. So you have to put Griselbrand into play on your turn. But on your opponent's turn, you can draw 14, cast the Force of Vigor, and then kill them with Gut Shots in their upkeep with the Endurance. So Force of Vigor plays a unique role here that allows you to win on your opponent's turn through something like a Leyline of the Void or whatever. So I think Force of Vigor is really what we want to be doing today. But let's say I've just been talking complete gibberish to you and you don't even understand how this deck works because you don't want to watch the previous video for some crazy reason, even though it's a good video, I promise you. Alright, so how this deck works is we can cast Allosaurus Rider for free by removing 2 green cards from our hand. So we get a 7-drop for 0 mana, actually 0 mana for free. From there, we want to cast Neoform. Okay, well, we have a way to accelerate into that with Chancellor of the Tangle. So we can even cast Neoform on the first turn. We cast Neoform, sacrificing this Allosaurus Rider. We grab Griselbrand. Okay, we draw 14 cards. In those 14 cards, ideally we had a Nourishing Shoal. We can remove an Autochthon Wurm to gain 15 life and draw 14 more. Repeat this process. Eventually you get your deck down to 7 cards. And one thing you can do is use Summoner's Pact to help make sure that your deck is a divisible of 7. So ideally you go 42, 35, etc. all the way down. And once you hit 0, you can create I'm going to call it a Doomsday pile, where Doomsday is a legacy storm combo deck where you stack the perfect 5 cards. Here we're looking to stack the perfect 7. So you cast Gut Shot 3 times, and then you cast Nourishing Shoal 3 times, and then you gain a whole bunch of life, and then you cast Endurance. You stack it so that way the trigger shuffles Endurance back in the deck, and then you draw 7 more. You cast 3 more Gut Shots, you cast Nourishing Shoal again, you cast Endurance, and you loop this until your opponent's down to 0 life. That's the game plan here. So that's what I have for the deck tech today. I hope you enjoy this video. This is what I would play if I was running or playing it in an event tomorrow. I really do mean that. I think that this is the list I'd want to play. But thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. I hope you stick around and enjoy the league. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, exclusive members only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, early access to videos, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, such as theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1. So here we have the Eldritch Evolution. We have a Summoner's Pact. What we're lacking is a way to get to 3 mana for the evolution. I think that this is still a keep. We also have the slim possibility that we draw a turn 1 Neoform, and that would allow us a turn 1 win. Pretty unlikely. There's only 3 in the main deck now instead of 4. But on the draw, I think I'm willing to try this. It does have both combo pieces. We just have to draw lands. All right, reveal the Chancellor. Pretty slim odds that we draw it, but it's worth playing it out just in case. They play a Misty Rainforest. Draw. Draw Manamorphose. Okay. Ouch. Play the Manamorphose. This is a spot where this could have been a guaranteed second land. Hey, we drew a land anyway. Beautiful. Alright, pass the turn. We fetch a Triome. Misty Rainforest again. 3 Steam Vents. That's a 4/4. Come on, Neoform. Ding! Alright, Summoner's Pact. Let's party. Grab that Allosaurus Rider. We will now cast the Rider, removing Evolution Chancellor. Green, blue. Let's put a giant demon onto the battlefield. Okay, play Zern Orb. Let's draw 7. Draw 7 again. Sacrifice the Gemstone. Sacrifice the Breeding Pool. We will go up to 8 life. So we are 1 card underneath a divisible of 7, which is a little bit awkward. So we can change that later, though. That is one nice part of playing the Endurance build, is that eventually it won't matter. Let's remove an Autochthon Wurm from the game. 15. Draw 7. Draw 7. Puts me at 9. Go to 2, draw 7. We hit another worm. Let's exile it. Okay. Another shoal. We can remove a turn timber. Pay 7 life. So there's 6 cards left in deck. I do not want to activate Griselbrand again. But it looks like both of our endurances, I believe, are in the bottom 6. Okay, so we'll cast this. Summoner's Pact. We grab one of the endurance. So we have 10 cards in graveyard, 5 cards in deck. So that's 15. So if I... Hold on, I can do this. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit weird. We have to go through 2 loops. I'm going to cast Endurance Pitching. I want to remove something with a low mana value. So probably this other Summoner's Pact. Okay. We'll select the Evoke trigger first, so that way it happens. Or did I do this backwards? I might have done this backwards. Yeah, I did. Damn. Okay, lesson learned. Okay, so I still have 1 more Endurance in there. It's fine. Let's pull out the Endurance. And now I can draw the rest of the deck. We have a Worm right here. Let's slide that down so I can just easily exile it. Exile the Worm. It's been a while since I've had to execute this combo, so I'm just not completely caught up on it. I mean, I play so many different decks that sometimes it's just difficult to play perfectly all the time. Alright, so that's 5 cards. Let's do 1 more Shoal. Gain some more life. Alright, and now we'll do the Endurance again. Remove the Summoner's Pact. Alright, so we'll target ourselves, so that way the sacrifice resolves first. Okay, so now we have the Doomsday Pile. We'll draw 7. Target them with Gut Shot. Target them with Gut Shot. And I'll stop narrating this so that way you don't have to watch me do this a million times. But I wanted you to see 1 full loop before I just silently click. Alright, so then we remove the Shoal. Or Shoal removing an Allosaurus Rider will gain 7. Shoal remove... Let's just remove some stuff that's towards the end here so I don't have to scroll a whole bunch. Okay. So much life. And now we Endurance, remove the Summoner's Pact. Target myself. 42 life. Good old Jackie Robinson. Okay. Draw 7. Gut Shot you. And I'll stop narrating now. Okay, so my opponent saw the writing on the wall and conceded. But we got this game. So does the creativity deck... I should look up a recent deck list because I don't want to sideboard him properly. So let's load up MTG Goldfish. Let's find the 4-color creativity deck. This is not creativity because they have the dragon. So maybe it's the Crashing Footfalls deck. Here's the Scion of Draco. 3 Leyline of the Void in the board. That is something we are somewhat concerned with beating. They're a Force and Negation deck, but they didn't have it. Okay, so let's sideboard. They're also a Mystical Dispute deck. Likely want these packs. Then the 2 copies of Force of Vigor. That brings us up to 64. They're not a Blood Moon deck, so we can probably board out the Manamorphose. That brings us down to 60. So then the question becomes, do you want Veil of Summer to help beat some of their hate? And if you do, you're probably boarding out Chancellor of the Tangle. I think I'm okay playing a little bit slower here. Let's bring in the Veils. Click Submit. Game number 2. So we technically have access to both pieces via Glittering Wish, but we also have the Evolution. So this looks like a turn 4 protected win, which might be a little bit slow. And they have double Leyline. Okay. We did bring in Force of Vigor, so that's not a concern for us. They're grabbing a Breeding Pool. That's interesting. Suspends Crashing Footfalls. Okay. Draw for turn. Act. We will not pay 3 life. Pass the turn. I don't mind drawing the pact here. I would like to draw land number 3, though. Okay, so Crashing Footfalls will lose a suspend counter. They play a Flooded Strand, they pass, we'll take a draw step. You draw Veil of Summer, we'll play the Mana Confluence. Pass the Glittering Wish. Which resolves, we'll grab Eladamri's Call. Pass the turn. Still looking to find that 3rd land. They play the 3rd land, and Crashing Footfalls has 2 counters still on it. Temple Garden. Interesting, there is passing. Force of Vigor, huh? Okay. I think I'm going to discard a Glittering Wish. Unfortunate. In their upkeep, let's try starting a counter war over this. They have 3 cards in hand, so I'm going to get rid of the second Veil of Summer. They fetch. So they have a Mystical Dispute? It has to be, right? Veil. We draw the 3rd land. They play a Plains. They have 2 cards in hand. Very nice Plains, though. Portal Second Age. Douglas Schuler. Draw. We draw an Autochthon Wurm. We'll play out the Turn Timber. And then cast the Eladamri's Call to go get the Allosaurus Rider. We need to draw a green card for next turn. They're about to have some rhinos, so yeah. Okay. You have a pair of rhinos, 3 cards in hand. They play Otawara, so they didn't leave that open for channeling. Wow. We drew the other green card we needed, so pitch. Take 1 down to 17. We'll cast Evolution. I have to suspect that they have a counterspell if they played out the Otawara. It's probably Hardcast Force into Negation. We'll Pact to Negation this, and now we have to win. Evolution. We only have 2 worms in the deck, but that should be fine. We need to draw Nourishing Shoal, and we did. So let's Summoner's Pact. We'll go get another worm. Pitch worm. And the opponent immediately concedes. Well, look at us now. I already got my first match victory. I couldn't do that in 3 leagues with the Throsta build. Alright, 1-0. Plenty of Magic left to be played. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Round number 2 on the play. We have 1 piece via Glittering Wish. I think that we could probably do better on 6. And this hand is just unkeepable. 5 cards. Yikes. Do we think that your average 4 is better than this? It might be. I'm gonna go to 4. No mana sources. Awkward. I guess we'll keep. Have to get rid of the Pact to Negation. Okay. So, running mana sources. What's the big ask? Totally easy. Admittedly, I'd rather keep this than the 5, I think. Watery Grave. Are we facing Mill? We are facing... This is a nightmare matchup. Wow. I might concede and then not let them see what I'm playing. Alright. We drew the land. Visions of Beyond. Do they not have land too? They have a hideaway land. Okay. There's a slim chance we could win this, assuming that I draw a land. If you're thinking Manamorphose, if this was Abundant Harvest, sure. But then we would also need to draw a green card. So either way, you're sort of begging for a good rip. Double land. Wow. That hurts my feelings. Draw. Not good enough. We have to pass. They play a Hedron Crab. They don't know that I'm on Neoform yet. I think I'm going to concede. I think I am better off trying to win games 2 and 3 than give them that information. Okay, so we probably want... You can board out Manamorphose for sure. Alright, so we probably want Pact to Negations, and then Force of Vigor. These decks tend to play like a lot of Soul Guide Lantern type stuff, and we can beat that with the Force of Vigor. You might be thinking Veil of Summer seems like a slam dunk. It's honestly fine, but like half the cards in their deck don't target anymore. It says like each opponent or that sort of stuff, so Veil is not as always good as you'd hope. Let's try this out. Okay, I would like to be on the play. Sure. So this is a turn 3 win, assuming that we draw into a land. Play the Orchard, we'll pass. We play Island into Crab, sure. Come on, Neoform off the top rope. Draw. I'll take land 3. Pass. I play another Rune Crab with a Polluted Delta. Okay. They've mailed over 1 endurance. This is a pain in the butt. We could still win. And they remove the endurance. Okay. Just not a good matchup for us. Mill's also not a popular deck anymore. Glittering Wish. Summoner's Pact. Grab the Rider. Cast it, removing Glittering Wish, and unfortunately the Worm, because I think we need to keep the Nourishing Shoal. We'll counter the Archive Trap. Okay. I should do this differently, because in theory they could respond and bounce my Rider. You're supposed to announce the spell first. That's on me. We'll sack the Rider. Go get the Demon. And we will pass. In their upkeep, draw 7. Draw 7 more. Alright, we found the Force of Vigor. Let's cast that. Destroying or removing a Wish. And then we can respond to the Soul Guide Lantern at some point. So choosing to draw a card. I'm going to respond here. Let's try to gain 15. Okay, let's draw 7 more. We get another Worm. Let's cast Shoal, removing the Worm. Draw. We did not hit the endurance. Draw 7 more. There will be 2 cards we don't get to see here. 1 Summoner's Pact, 2 Summoner's Pact, 3 Summoner's Pact. So we have 1 Pact left in the deck too. Are you serious? The bottom 2 cards in my deck are Summoner's Pact, Endurance? Wow, what are the odds? And I have no way to draw a card in my upkeep. I'm not messing this up, right? Like, there's no way for me to... Wow, that's like such slim odds. 1 Summoner's Pact, 2 Summoner's Pact, 3 Summoner's Pact. Oh, all 4 Pact are actually in the graveyard. Okay, so it's Endurance and 1 Unknown. That's more plausible, but still unfortunate. That's just defeating. They play the Roboro. Allosaurus Rider Endurance. It was our bottom card. I'm just going to pick it up from here. This was a little bit of a heartbreaker, but it is a bad matchup anyway, so sometimes you just lose. It happens. 1-1. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. We're on the play once again in the 3rd match. This is what we want. I think we keep this. Cycle the Manamorpho, see what we need for the Glittering Wish. Play Confluence, pass the turn. Mountain. Wow, so probably Goblins. Draw. Ouch. Ouch, 18 life. Manamorphose. Cycle. Draw Griselbrand. Not good. Cycle again. Rider. So now we can Glittering Wish for Neoform. But we are short on green cards. So if I draw 1 green card off the top, we can put a demon onto the table. Draw for turn. That is in fact a green card. Let's put a demon on the battlefield. Announce that I'm casting this. A green. Sack the Rider. They get a spirit. Play Griselbrand. And I could try to win here, but I just don't need to. So I'm going to pass. We can always win at instant speed if our opponent tries to do something funny. That's a Prospector. Auntie's Hovel. They reveal Goblin Matron. Sure. They pick up a Snoop. D-O-double-G. Alright, untap. We're at 17 life. Let's draw 7. We find Nourishing Shoal and the Autochthon Wurm. Let's gain 15. We're at 40 cards. We're in this weird spot where even if we cast all 4 Summoners Pact, we can't draw evenly, but that ultimately doesn't matter that much, once again, because we are on the Endurance build. Remove a Turn Timber, draw, play land, Zernorb. Also, with this build, you're allowed to attack with Griselbrand to gain life, which you cannot do in the Throsta build. We're at 11. All right, let's pay 7 going into 4. 12 cards left in deck. All right, so float a green. Let's Summoner's Pact. Thin one out. Did I see that correctly? So there's got to be 2 shoals in there. Float another green. You can have a spirit. Sacrifice, sacrifice. Let's draw 7 going to 1. 4 cards left in deck. Let's pitch the worm, gain 15. I'm just going to Endurance now. Remove a Summoner's Pact. They activate Vial. Sure thing. Target us. We have 15 cards in there. That's fine, because we have Manamorphose also to cycle back down to an even pile. Okay, so let's remove this Rider. We're just trying to gain life at this point. Okay, gain a bunch of life. That's 3. So our bottom card is also a Nourishing Shoal. Let's cycle the Manamorphose. Green, green. Apparently there's another Manamorphose. Do I have another Shoal hanging out somewhere? Is it in exile? It is. Okay, that would make sense then. Okay. So let's start the win. We'll cast Gut Shot. Gut Shot again. Endurance. Target us. Alright, we have 7. Activate Gristle. So knowing that most of my expensive cards are down here. But you've seen this loop before. I'm just going to quietly start shooting my opponent for lethal. You don't need to watch me click through. I guess one thing I can do to speed this up a little bit is I can go to combat, hit them for 8 in the air, and then that means that I have to do less loops in order to win. So let's attack them down to 4. Plus I gained a whole bunch of life. Okay, that just saved me some time here, some life equity. All right, so they are now at 1. Just keep removing some cards here. Another shoal. Sometimes I remove cheap cards in my hand just to get closer to the part of the deck that has the expensive cards in it. It's lazy, but it's what I'm doing. Now we'll activate the Griselbrand. Target you. We did it! We won versus Goblins. So Goblins is a matchup where we probably don't need this Pact Negation, so we'll get rid of that. Force of Vigor seems like a pretty easy include. You could bring in Abrupt Decay or the Sky Turtle. Are there cards in my deck that I think that are worse than those? Probably not. I'm going to submit. We have 2 lands, Glittering Wish. Sure. Leyline of the Void. As I mentioned in the deck tech, this card's pretty popular right now, so the Force of Vigors in the sideboard are just a slam dunk. Ooh, and we found the Rider. Great draw step. They're fetching with the Foothills. Cavern of Souls. That's a Snoop. The Ringleader on top. Draw. Force of Vigor. I mean, it's fine, but I could also just be dead here. Glittering Wish. Yes, I will grab Neoform. So we have a turn 3, but our opponent could just turn 3 me. They play a Prospector. They sack the Snoop, which is interesting. 4 mana. Chalice on 2. Little do they know, I already have Force of Vigor. Yeah. So it's Force of Vigor. We'll crush their entire dreams. Removing... I don't need 2 Endurance. Yeah, remove the Endurance. We'll play out the Rider. Remove. And the opponent concedes. Hell yeah. 2-1 with NeoBrand. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Cardholder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Round 4, we're on the draw. I have a potential turn 1 if I draw a Summoner's Pact or a Rider. But more realistically, this is just a turn 2 win. With Spear, we're facing Burn. Okay, we'll take a draw. Have this for a white to cast Glittering Wish. Yes. Grab the Neoform. Oh no! I spaced. Neoform is not what I needed here. I needed the Eldamri's Call. Ah, autopilot. Damn. That was bad. That was really bad. There's a Lightning Helix. Maybe I'll get lucky and I'll draw into it. I don't know. That was stupid, though. 13. I think I'm supposed to try to cycle into what we want here. Blue-green. Not sure what to do. Pass the turn, I guess. We're not out of this yet. Like, just putting a giant demon into play can sometimes be good enough against Burn. We have the Nourishing Shoal to gain life, so I don't want to shame concede because I misplayed. But I did not make it easier on myself. We'll gain some life here in response. So here we're taking in extra damage because of the spirits. That said, I did misplay myself into the spot. Play out the land, I guess. Pass the turn. This was really my own fault. Just wasn't thinking. A hardcast Riftbolt. I'm at 13, taking 6, so I'll be at 7. So even if I can put Griselbrand into play, I'll be at 5. Okay, I've seen enough. Let's just go to game 2. Hunt count. At least 1. Remove the Pact negations. I like Force of Vigor because it doesn't trigger Eidolon. You could also board in a Sky Turtle because Sky Turtle you can get with the Summoner's Pact to bounce Eidolon, but that's not a play that comes up too often. I think I'm just going to do this. Try to play better. Game number 2 on the play. So this is just a turn 1? Yeah, I guess I'll keep the turn 1 win. Reveal Chancellor. The Chancellor will trigger Gemstone Mine. Alright, time to party. Neoform. Draw 7. We did not draw into a Shoal. That said, if I go to 6 here, they cannot deal me 6 damage on the first turn, so I'll draw 7 again. We hit the Shoal, remove the Worm, draw 7, remove Worm, 29, draw again, I'm at 8, Shoal removing Chancellor, draw 7, I'm at 8, gain some more life. So there's 6 cards in graveyard, 3 in deck. We want a grand total of 14. Oh, all 4 Shoals are already in there. My bad. So let's ping them. Ping them. So this is 12. Brings me to 9. So then the Endurance would be... I have to put 1 more card before the Endurance. I'm going to leave that there. Endurance... Remove a Glittering Wish. Target myself. And now we're going to... So in theory, maybe I'm being overcautious here. I think we want to thin the deck so that way we increase our odds of hitting the Shoals. Alright, so now we draw. We're at 4 cards in deck. We hit all 4 Shoals, lovely. Sacrifice the gemstone, not that it matters. Okay. Now we gain a bunch of life. Now we endurance again. Then we start really winning. How am I at 11? Oh, I forgot the 4 that were in the deck. I am not very good at this. Draw 7. Ping you. Alright, so we have 7 cards between our graveyard and our library at the moment. Okay. Guess I'll pull out this endurance. So now we have 11 between the two. I don't know if I can even cast anything else here. So, yeah. I'm just like really making this more difficult than it needs to be. Draw. Okay, so I'm going to just try to get this correct. So I'm going to just endurance right now, so that way I can actually get down to the pile instead of just like making this more awkward every loop. So now I have 7. Draw. Okay. I'm not revealing the Force of Vigor for a reason. I don't want them to see them. Like, there's just no reason to show my opponent that I boarded in Force of Vigor. Okay, we keep clicking. I've established the loop, so I'm going to quit running my mouth so you don't have to watch me loop this. Alright, so I've gone through the loop a number of times, and now we are casting the final group shot on our opponent to send them back to the Shadow Realm. Game 3 coming up. So let's see if I can make up for that punch in game number 1. Just going to resubmit. I don't think I need to change my boarding plans. So this is a turn 3. Probably fine. They've taken a mulligan. Turn 1 Goblin Guide. The trigger, I reveal a Turn Timber Symbiosis. Play Gemstone Mine past the turn. Sacred Foundry. Roiling Vortex. That is a very good one against me. Okay. We reveal another worm. Yeah, I might just lose to this card. I guess I can go get Abrupt Decay. Yes. I think I'm supposed to just get Decay here. Plus an Eidolon. Wow. Okay. I might have lost to their Mold of 5. Griselbrand's my top card. Jeez. We have to get rid of the Vortex. This game has not been good to me. Another Goblin Guide. They have 1 in hand. That's game. Yep. Wow. That might be the best mulligan to 5 I've ever seen out of Burn. We're 2-2, not the best, but there's still a 5th match. Stick around, see how it goes. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. Match number 5, the final round. We've opened up a 1-land hand with Chancellor Glittering Wish. This is just too slow. This better. Yeah, this is probably fine. We'll bottom the Gut Shot. Reveal the Chancellor. So we can cycle Manamorphose on the first turn, but also if we hit Neoform, there's a chance at a turn 1. They play Island Pass. Glittering Wish. So that just became our turn 1 play. Play the Glittering Wish. Grab Neoform. Pass the turn. Merfolk. So they're representing a Hex Catcher here. I'm not sure if we want to jam or not. I'm going to play Glittering Wish. I'm not sure what the actual get is here. I think it's probably just Abrupt Decay. Now let's see if they put the Hex Catcher into play. Merfolk Trickster. Okay. Land number 3. Master of the Pearl Trident. So they gave me a window here. I think I'm going to try to take it. Draw. Summoner's Pact. Grab the Rider. Remove Manamorphose. Chancellor. Subtlety, huh? That's unfortunate. If I had kept the Manamorphose, we could have actually have continued to try to win this turn. Wow, I was not thinking about Subtlety. That stinks. I just learned a lesson. I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, don't throw away Manamorphose because it helps you beat Subtlety. They have 1 in hand. The Curse Catcher. Of course, I have the 1 of Breeding Pool against the Merfolk deck. I'm at 10. I go to 7. Oh, there's the Summoner's Pact. Yeah, I just botched this. Oh, geez. I completely forgot about the Summoner's Pact, but if I didn't pitch the Manamorphose, we actually could have won that turn. That's just me being terrible at Magic. Okay. We can probably get rid of Manamorphose here because we're bringing in the packs. So I don't want to play to double pitch if I don't have to. And then Chancellor of the Tangle. You could board in Force of Vigor. Let me look up a recent Merfolk list. Okay, so this is not what I was looking for. This is Saffron Olive's list. Oh, I clicked on budget on accident. What a dummy. How do I get out of this? Come on. Go back to modern. This is the button I meant to click. 3 Chalice of the Void. That is probably a card I'm interested in. Alright, we will board in Force of Vigor. Take out the Chancellors. Hit submit. Yes. So we have Neoform. We don't have access to the Rider. This hand's already a mulligan to 6 with the Griselbrand, so I'm going to ship it. I guess we keep this. I'm not in love with it, but we're a Neoform away from it being fine. And once again, we have the breeding pool, which is just super awkward. Merfolk is a relatively popular deck right now. And I say relatively, I mean, it's not like top tier, but it's a deck you should expect. And this breeding pool is just biting me in the butt. Pass the turn. Yeah, that's a curse catcher. Just made my life more difficult. We can use that to get the Neoform. Make them sacrifice the curse catcher. Okay, pass. You might be thinking, why not hold? My life total is a pretty valuable resource. I know that I have Nourishing Shoal Wurm, but I'm also low on cards to pitch to a rider if I drew one. I have a second curse catcher. That's obnoxious. I think I am likely to lose this game. Ouch. And this particular game, I think we're going to see the Spirit Token off the Forbidden Orchard bite me in the butt. So we found the Neoform, but now I'm a mana short. So I'm going to pass. Deactivate the Vial. That's a Master of the Pearl Trident. They find land 2. Lord of Atlantis. That's 7 damage coming in. I'm going to fall to 11 life. They activate the Vial. Yeah, I can't be a Hexcatcher. So we went 2-3. Not the best record. You could argue that I lost myself the match against Burn, and I'd probably agree with you. Like, I did punt game 1 pretty badly. So, Merfolk, bad matchup. Mill, bad matchup. 2-3 is nothing to be happy about. I'm not trying to pretend like it was. But when I lost with the Throsta builds, I was losing to matchups that I felt like I probably should have beaten. I wasn't getting paired against nightmares like Mill or Merfolk. So I think I'd still recommend this list over the Throsta build. I am looking to cut this Teferi from the board. It should be literally anything else. That's my 2 cents. And I didn't draw Gut Shot versus Merfolk when maybe I did. I did not. To kill the Hexcatchers. Although their Hexcatcher would have lived because of the other lords. So it's tough. But the Teferi, I think, is a blank sideboard slot. Like, it's just not useful. So this could be a 3rd Force of Vigor or something else to actually help improve the deck. I would definitely look at getting rid of Teferi. The Forbidden Orchard experiment was weird. I think it might not be the best call. I am not in love with City of Brass. So I am open to potentially cutting Forbidden Orchard or the City of Brass slot for whatever we find. I have mixed feelings about the breeding pool. Across my 4 leagues that I've played over the last couple days, that's the 2nd time that I faced Merfolk, and both times that I faced it, I drew the breeding pool, and it made things really weird because Griselbrand couldn't be a blocker. So I think the breeding pool, maybe it's basic forest if you even want to play anything like that, especially when you're running a Manamorphose. The upside of it being a basic is pretty, oh, what's the word I'm looking for here? You know what I'm trying to say. Like, the drawback of it being basic forest when you have Manamorphose to convert to blue or white is pretty low. I guess that's the words that I'm looking for. So the Forbidden Orchards could also go back to being the Horizon lands. And if they're the Horizon lands, you do have more Manamorphose to convert them, but it could make Glittering Wish awkward in some spots. So keep that in mind. I'm just not in love with this slot at the moment. It feels really strange. Maybe one of you knows a better 5-color land that I'm not playing and that could actually help. But I'm looking to get rid of Teferi. I'm looking to find another alternative land here. But that's what I've got. I still really like this deck, and I genuinely mean that. So thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Keep storming, all that good stuff. Have a great day. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.